Welcome everybody to another Gorilla Gospel. This is this is the same episode of Don't Get Caught Up in the Cross. So let's try to figure this out for a second. We're gonna get a little deep here, and I just pray that everybody put on their spiritual eyes and their heart, their soul, period. Okay, we're going to hit another verse, and this is out of Luke chapter 16. And this is verse 24. And he says, this is the king talking to Abraham. He says, then he cried and said, Father Abraham, send Lazarus that he may dip the tip of his finger in the water and cool my tongue, for I am tormented in this flame. And as we go into that, you knew that there was a fixture that kept his world from his world as well. And we live in today of separate worlds, not knowing that we came from something to get to where we are now and go back to where we came from, so far as our spirit. Some people just don't understand that part when it comes to the gospel or just humanity, period. You know, it's just some big scientific proof that the world made itself and everything in it. But here's the bottom line. The man said, go dip some water. Go dip your finger in some water, which means that in Lazarus' world, they still had a world where it was water, I guess, and just green pastures and coolness, a breeze, all this. And the king, well, he was trapped in the world of what he was trapped in, and that was just, you could just say twice the pain that we go through right now. We go through the pain that we go through right now because our world is combined with heaven. How do I say that? It was the curse that Adam and Eve put upon this world. See, at first, Adam and Eve was in the garden of Eve, and they had it good. Not only that, but Adam and Eve wasn't meant to die. It was when he did the curse that they became mortal. They wasn't never meant to die. They wasn't even supposed to grow up. They were supposed to stay kids. They was God kids. But after the curse hit, it separated our worlds because we knew good and evil. And since we know good and evil, that's what we live in now. But there's a world of all the way good. And that was the one that they inherited when they was formed on this earth and God made woman. So we have this fixture in our way that separates us, you know what I'm saying, from good and evil in reality. They got some people who fight for good and they stay on that side of the fence. They got some people who pushes for bad and they stay on that side of the fence. They can't come over to good. You know what I'm saying? Unless they become good. We can't go to bad either unless we become bad. But I mean, who wants to be bad, right? It's in our nature. But it's only when you allow God to get in your life that you don't want to be bad. You know what I'm saying? So, our spiritual world, it comes with a price, a sacrifice, so to speak. To get to the good part of your afterlife, you have to do something. You have to kill your flesh in this life. and give it to God by asking for forgiveness through his son. You tell his son, ask God, like this king was trying to get Abraham to tell Lazarus to go get some water for him. Just a fingertip. We have to stop putting God on the back burner, man. Because you see, what we have here is a separation. And there is, where is that? We got heaven, and then we got hell. And the two are right on side of each other. And we have this deal right in between it. It's a street. And you got to cross it. You're going to either cross over here or you're going to cross over there. But when it comes to those who's over here and they cross over here and they do the things that they do over here, after knowing what's over here, I feel really, really bad for them. Really, really bad. My glasses, they fog up when I'm talking with this mask on. But I try to keep up with this time. As I'm trying to explain to y'all, brothers and sisters, our spiritual world of all good came to an end once the curse hit. And then the fight to do right came about as the sin of jealousy and envy or greed, and gluttony and all that stuff came about. It's the spirit. It's the spirits that we unleash on this earth, the curse that we put on this earth. He said, man knows good and evil. Okay? You see that sign up there? It says shall. You just take off the S and you could see that it's kind of like a slap in the face, but you know, man got their way of tricking things and just, you know, laughing at God. You could just say that. But if man knows good and evil, like God, tell me something. What are the evil things in this world? Our biggest sin is lust. We lust for everything we see. Whether it's a woman, whether it's shoes, whether it's a car, whether it's clothes, whether it's food, TV, whatever. We lust. And our lust takes us to do things like get jealous or get angry or you know, get overweight or have too many women and we catch stuff, you know. And it's a lustful nature, bro. But you see, to escape all that, our curiosity has to be contained. See, it was curiosity that got Eve tricked. And you know how they say that situation where women was the stupidest creatures on the earth because they're the ones who did the curse and everything? Don't you just hate that? I mean, I do. I mean, come on, bro. If women was the stupidest creatures on earth, then we are, no, they said they were the dumbest. Then we the stupidest because we laid up there and follow right behind them when we supposed to be the head person in charge of God's kingdom. So put that on your plate and chop it up. You heard me? Go bull ride on that one. If anything, Eve was more naive than Adam was. That's why the serpent could get to her more. It's just like a pedophile that goes after a little kid. They don't know no better. See, Eve was created after Adam, and some years later at that. Because God had he said, I'm gonna make you a woman. Took his DNA and went off and came back with the woman. That took some time, brothers and sisters. See, Rome wasn't built overnight, and you know, stuff don't just fall out of the sky. You heard me? Stuff don't just happens overnight. You gotta understand when it comes to this spirit world, when you're reading that Bible, is that it takes time for a lot of things to happen. You dig? When Noah built the ark, guess how many years it took? We losing. We are seriously losing. We are cutting our time on this earth so short that it's a dang on shame. We was given 120 years. We cut that clean in half to where most of us only live to 60. And the faster we keep going with all this new this and the new that, and we conserve it and all that type of stuff and catch this and catch that or whatever, and then the medications help us too, well, you'll see why a majority of us just dart off. But there's a population control thing. Everybody's so scared of overpopulating, where if they stop giving all these drugs and drinks and all that causes people to rapidly mutate, we won't have so much of a population going on. Give some people some jobs, give them something to do, give them something to live for, instead of just being laid off and fired and all they could do is just bunny hop all over the place. You know what I'm saying? God forgive me, I'm not joking. I'm not joking. But this is serious, bro. This is real. We have to realize what evil and what good is out there. And we gotta realize what side of it we won't be on. You choose your side, bro. And you laugh at everything that God has to tell you, like we always been doing. We always been laughing at God, and we always choose our fate and end up suffering for it, paying for it. But there's gonna be many more things that I discuss about what we're living in out of that Bible that was already going on before we got into it right here. Ain't nothing new under the sun, like that man said. All right, except for the fact that they put a man on the moon, because God put men on earth, you know, and they got people living out in space. That's the only thing new right now. Other than that, man, y'all can miss me on that nonsense, you dig? But just understand this. There was a world that was all good until we messed that up. Stop blaming God for what you go through in this world that man brings you through, by tricking you and all that type of stuff. Just come to God, man, and you'll be all right. And that's on Guerrilla Gospel on the last take of Don't Get Caught in the Cross, baby.